The year is 1805, the height of British naval power. The Royal Navy rules the oceans, their wooden hulls painted black and gold, sails swelling with the wind, 1,000 ships stretching from horizon to horizon. And then something impossible happens. Out of a mist that shouldn't exist, a single shadow cuts across the waves. No sails, no flags, no sound. Just a sharp, angular shape. Black, smooth, alien. The sailors stare. One whispers, "What devilry is that?" It's the USS Zumwalt, DDG-1000, the most advanced destroyer ever built, and it's just arrived 200 years too early. The Zumwalt isn't like any ship the Royal Navy has ever seen. Inside, a crew of barely 150 men and women, the commander watches through digital cameras. In his scope, a forest of masts, ships of the line, frigates, sloops. He mutters, "Jesus Christ, that's Trafalgar times 10. On the British side, Admiral Nelson himself stands aboard HMS Victory, eyes narrowing through his brass telescope. He's faced Napoleon, he's faced the Spanish, the French, but never this. No wind, no smoke. Just a phantom. He signals the fleet. Form line. Prepare broadside. 1,000 ships creak into formation, the greatest wooden wall ever built. And the Zumwalt just sits there, silent, waiting. Then it happens. The Zumwalt's advanced gun system fires. 2 155mm rounds scream through the air, hypersonic, guided, precise. They travel miles in seconds. Boom! The first British ship vanishes in a cloud of splinters and flame. The second catches fire before anyone ever hears the sound. The ocean burns. Men shout that it's witchcraft. Nelson yells, "Return fire!" 1,000 broadsides erupt in thunder. Cannons roar. The sea turns to chaos. But the shots land short. The cannonballs bounce off the Zumwalt's stealth hull like pebbles. It doesn't even flinch. Inside, the crew reloads. Says the commander, "Target the flagship." The screen locks onto HMS Victory. Boom. The ship that once led the Empire explodes in a bloom of orange and black. The shockwave rolls across the water like a hurricane. Hundreds of ships scatter, the formation broken. But the British aren't cowards. They regroup. Nelson's officers shout across the decks, "Cut loose the burning ships! Ram it! Ram the beast!" The fleet charges. Rowboats, frigates, even men swimming, all surging toward the steel phantom. But the Zumwalt isn't done. Its radar locks onto dozens of targets. Tomahawk missiles fire from its vertical launch cells, streaking into the air before curving down like divine judgment. The sea lights up with explosions. Columns of smoke twist into the clouds. For every British ship that gets close, 10 vanish beneath the waves. But the ones that do reach it, they fight like demons. They ram the hull. They throw fire barrels, grappling hooks, anything that might harm it. Some try climbing up the slick steel like ants. They hammer with axes and cutlasses. Nothing. Inside, the crew just watches, stunned. One sailor whispers, "We're fighting ghosts." Another replies, "No, they're fighting history." But even gods have limits. The Zumwalt's ammunition starts to dwindle. Its missiles are gone, its guns overheated, and the ocean is filling with wreckage, too thick to maneuver through. The British realize it's slowing down. Nelson's remaining captains rally the survivors, about 300 ships still afloat. They circle the monster like wolves. "Range the guns by eye," one shouts. "Forget the wind, just fire." Thousands of cannons erupt again. This time some shots hit. The Zumwalt shudders. Wooden splinters pepper its radar domes. The commander grips the rail. All batteries return fire. What follows isn't a battle, it's an apocalypse. Railgun prototypes ignite with electric light, firing tungsten rounds faster than sound. Water erupts in plumes the size of buildings. The horizon glows orange as ships turn to skeletons. But still, the British keep coming. They're outmatched, yes, but they fight with something no radar can detect. Belief, discipline, that stubborn, irrational courage that built an empire. Hours pass. Smoke covers the ocean. Half of the British fleet lies beneath the waves, but so does the Zumwalt Advantage. Its fuel gauge blinks red, generators overheating, cooling systems clogged with debris. The ship is bleeding electricity, systems flickering on and off. The commander looks at his officers, exhausted, pale, terrified. "Status? Fuel at 3%. We're dead in the water in 30 minutes. He stares at the radar. Hundreds of blips still closing in. Outside, the wind picks up. For the first time, the British have the weather. The remaining ships fan out, using the smoke as cover. Cannon fire echoes again, not random now, but coordinated, rhythmic, methodical. The same way they broke the French at Trafalgar. And slowly, they start to hit. The Zumwalt's stealth plating peels off in molten shards. One mastless frigate crashes into its side, exploding in fire. A second follows. The steel giant lurches. Inside, alarms scream. The commander sighs. Steady. If this is how history remembers us, make it loud. He orders the last rounds fired, every gun, every missile, every piece of metal left aboard. The sea turns white with fury. And then, silence. The Zumwalt drifts, smoke curling from its deck. The ocean around it is littered with the wreckage of centuries. By dawn, the battle is over. Of the Royal Navy's 1,000 ships, only a few dozen remain, charred, broken, but afloat. Of the Zumwalt, only a blackened hull. The British board it cautiously. They find no crew, no bodies, just machines that hum and blink and whisper. Things beyond understanding. Word spreads. The Admiralty calls it a miracle. The Church calls it the devil's work. The survivors call it a ghost. And when they tell the story years later, they don't call it the Zumwalt. They call it the Iron Leviathan. A ship from another age, a weapon sent by the gods to test mankind.